down.
Thank you, sir.
So Malathy, you say that you are interested in jewelry making,
Yes, sir.
jewelry designing.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about Akshatrite. What is this? Why this kind of thing? Consumerism. Too much of consumerism. Don't you think so?
Yes.
Luring people to buy gold and very, very gaudy, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Would you agree?
Yes, sir, of course. It's like a very commercial strategy to attract people on that day by saying some mythological reasons, maybe.
What is Akshatrite? I want to know what is this.
Sorry, sir, I don't have knowledge of it.
Akshaya means what?
Sorry, sir.
Because since you say that you are very much interested in jewelry.
So actually, what I do is paper jewelry, terracotta, and beads and all, sir. It's like very artificial things.
So what led you to that jewelry designing? Because it's a very good thing. There are some people who do this jewelry designing. They are flying all over the world. They are wanted. It's a very good hobby, or what it can be taken as a profession also. So what attracted you to this? You are a painter. You are good to draw well.
No, sir, no, not at all. Actually, for me, as we are preparing for civil service, we need something to get out of this pressure and stress.
Okay.
So I opted for something that gives me a good feeling,
Okay.
and so that I can also develop my creativity as well. So just I went on and searched for it, and I found when I learned it was very easy. And top of all, as I said earlier, I felt very confident when I make something new, and I really impressed by that. The feeling that creates after creating a material.
So whatever you make, you sell it yourself or give it to somebody to sell?
I give to my friends,
Okay.
and to the cousins. Actually, even I have another hobby, mentoring kids. So I have a lot of kids.
Mentoring kids, very
Yeah.
good. So what do you do? What is mentoring? What kind of mentoring are you doing?
Actually, sir, mentoring is like creating a right ambience for the kids, wherein they can develop to their fullest potential. What I do is that I deal with three ways, sir. First thing is I inculcate values in children through playway method, and second thing is I impart life skill education too, and third thing is I give counseling to kids as well, sir.
So what is the kind of age group you are dealing with?
I deal with all sort of kids, sir, right from 3 to for me, sir, I have taken a different definition of children. For me, everyone is kid.
So, you know,
I strongly believe that there is a child in every one of us.
Okay.
So it will come out with whom they feel comfortable. So I am very open to deal with any sort of kids.
What is the normal? So you feel when you do mentoring, you see the negative side of the child, the positives as well as negatives. As they say, in a basket you have a good apple as well as a bad apple. So what should be your approach? Should you be working on the strength, or should you be working on the deficiency, improving the deficiency? Taking away the deficiency, improving on it, so that the person becomes good. Or forget about the deficiency, the negativities. Concentrate only on the good qualities that he is able to. Which approach is correct in mentoring?
As I told you, sir, mentoring, we will not go into details.
You don't go into details?
Yeah, I will not.
Oh.
We'll give a full freedom for kids to explore on the world on their own.
No, but yeah, that's right. That you give, but you're observing, right?
Yes,
you're
sir.
observing. That is mentoring all about.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it? And you're saying about values.
Of
Supposing
course.
some child has got the inherent quality of doing something which is negative, so won't you be watching that? Because you're saying you're going to impart values.
So I told you, when I impart voice, I do that by playway method. For 3 to 5, it's different, sir. By telling stories, we can inculcate value indirectly. And for, the higher classes, I'll be doing through rhymes and helping them to play role play and all. By then, they'll be able to empathize from others' perspective as well. By then also, I will be able to inculcate value. Doing dramas and all that, sir. Involving them in group activities. For example, the values that I inculcate, I took it from our constitution, sir. Developing a feeling of universal brotherhood, respecting our national symbols, and developing a concern for other living creatures.
So you talked about constitution, and of course you have said about. Now tell me about yoga part 3, which deals about the rights.
Fundamental rights.
Fundamental rights. So what are fundamental duties? When was that concept introduced in our constitution?
As we have fundamental rights, there is another concept called fundamental duties, which are expected from our citizen to pay back to our nation. It was inserted during 42nd Amendment Act, which was recommended by a commission.
Okay, you tell me about what are the important duties in whichever. If you are able to tell the article, that's fine. But what are the basic things in that?
The first and foremost is to respect our national ideals, and we have to cherish our things that helped us to fight for our freedom struggle, and we have to work for our nation whenever we have called upon to do so. And the most inspiring for me is to promote universal brotherhood, transcending all religious and caste basis and all. And we have to protect environment. And the second most thing I like is scientific temper, so to develop scientific temper. And last, which was added, is to make sure that a parent has to give education to his daughter, to his kids, or if he's a guardian, he has to give it to the
Respecting women and
Yeah, of course, sir.
So why did you choose this? You are now working as assistant. You have chosen Institute of Child and Health because of your mentoring thing, or that's what you got?
No, sir. Actually, I opted for Institute of Child, but I have quitted this job, sir. I'm not working.
You are not working. That's what you said. So are you working somewhere now? No, you're not working.
I'm not working now, sir.
Malathy,
Sir.
you said about the scientific temper.
Yes, sir.
It's a fundamental duty kind of a thing. If you watch TV and most of the time you see that this is Ganapati Yantra, this is Hanuman, this thing. You wear this will happen. So don't think that we are all atheists. But do you think that if someone is actually getting something, some article and then saying that by having this you will go, openly they are advertising, they are marketing. There is no scientific even that. So by not banning, don't you feel that actually we are actually facilitating such kind of people who are actually working against fundamental work, our constitutional disciplines?
Actually, sir, we have that system. If someone is selling these things using fraudulent or fraudulent or some wrong basis, but given this large country, we are not able to check everything that's happened, the length and breadth of our country. But we have to do, rather than being reactive, we can be proactive, sir. As I told you, I inculcate scientific temper to my kids. They will get empowered. Everyone will become an agent of change, so that we can stop it in one way or other. Once they become more and more aware, it will be a long-lasting solution, I feel, sir.
Coming back to your hobby, children making. In India, we are having a 20,000 tons of gold. It is hidden in every house as a jewel. Each and every female and male persons, they would like to have this thing. This is something unique in the entire globe. And in spite of having such a huge gold reserve, and an import, you are the biggest importer of gold. You are aware of this fact?
Yes, sir.
Our country, it need huge capital in infrastructure, especially road, civil aviation, and whatever you ask for, and heavy industries, power. So we are having huge crisis for managing resources. We are asking for foreign direct investment. There is a study from Finance Ministry by releasing this huge chunk of gold reserve and also reducing our import, we can manage more than 35% of our need for pumping in money in capital industries to cater to for at least for 10 years. Don't you feel it is a logical thing that a country should strive for, the government and country to strive for getting out all this gold, and the obsession of our Indians in too much on gold, we should overcome it?
Of course, sir. We are spending huge amount on buying gold. Though we buy gold, it is no way going to help our economy, as it's going to be a passive investment. So rather than curbing the craze for gold, we have to create more innovative instruments where people will be incentivized to invest more.
How do you propose that we can monetize gold? How do you visualize that as you are given power as a bureaucrat, how you can ensure that whatever the gold which is there in India, you can get it into the economy and monetize it for growth of our country?
Sir, given it's a part of our culture, it will be little difficult. I do agree, sir. I don't have any area to monetize it back, but I could say that we can reduce the investment in coming future. I mean, in the coming days by innovating some new.
Now you've got a metal free gold bonds are there. You can buy like a share market. You can buy gold. Don't you think it's correct? What do you think of that? You can go to the counter and buy gold, but not in physical form.
Yes, so that will be a good idea, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your input, sir.
You mentioned about that you are having the hobby of mentoring children, and you also that every person has a child in you. These two statements, both their statement. So I am a little bit curious about that. So what do you think that the principal difference between that mentoring a child, mentoring an adult?
So mentoring a child, as we know, it's like a clay. You can mold the way you wish. And mentoring an adult will be a little difficult because he will show some resistance to that.
Why he will show resistance?
Because the society has given a lot of.
He is having an experience to bank upon. Child is not having experience to bank upon.
Yes, sir. It will be very open to accept whatever we say.
You are from Virudhachalam, Kannur district.
Yes, sir.
Kannur is historically known for some kind of problem. That's a cultural fault line. 1 year, non-1 year.
Yes, sir.
This problem has been there for almost 2.5 decades or so.
Yes, sir.
Since Dr. Indira Gandhi's time. The reason past, the role of this kind of community in politics and the virulent nature it has come to substantially. So what do you attribute for that? Because since you are from that area, I'm sure you must be aware of this thing. And what will be the future of this community-based politics in India, in Tamil Nadu particularly?
Since our country is a mature democracy and still we follow that caste.
I'm talking about Tamil Nadu in particular.
Yes, sir, I do.
I'm talking about Kannur,
Yeah, sure, sir.
specific community.
Sure, sir.
And the role they played in the past 10-15 years with violence, with politics, and the present scenario and future.
It's really pathetic, sir. When we have a mature democracy on one side, but we are yet to come out of this caste-based, out there in my hometown, sir, people will not vote by the merits they have accomplished, the farmer legislators. Rather than they'll go merely by the caste from where they come from. It's because, I would say, lack of broad-mindedness, awareness, I would say, sir. As I told you, they have to differentiate what they actually want. And next, top of all, they get promoted by this, driving for voting. That too is there, sir. I used to notice in my village where, though there are many, I find it a little difficult to articulate, but shall I ponder over, sir?
Yeah. If you want, you can have water also.
Thank you, sir. So mainly because of vested interest this happens, sir. Though government, even the service organizations like us keep creating awareness. The people who are coming from the next generation, the first generation who have had education, still our ideas are yet to be taken by the local. Even in my home, sir, I face this problem. Though we have come out and we have had a huge, due to exposure, I have changed my perspective. When I was born, even I was I was influenced by those irrational beliefs that we have to go by our casteism and all. But once you grow up, you will get to know that whole perspective.
So education helps.
For sure, sir. But the education that is given in our schools itself is community biased. So the conduit from where the education gets itself should be changed. For that, sir, in our spaces, you can see that community politics, not only in political area, rather in administration as well. It is also in administration and education area as well. So we have to start the change right from school. At least in the coming generation, we will see that people will not get influenced merely by the caste-based, preferences.
Because each political party is going to feel that particular caste, whichever is the dominant caste. Then how do you decide? In the house, your father comes and says, okay, we all decide to vote so and so. You will vote this way.
For sure. So I could
So
say.
this is what happens in the house? No.
No, sir. Even last time, no. This is keep changing, sir. You can see in Vrithachalam last time. DMDK has won, sir.
Yeah.
Since last two, elections. Yes, sir. I can see. Earlier they used to say this region was like 1 year fort. You cannot break it. But the people, the next coming generation, are keep changing without doing anything, without accomplishing anything. You cannot get vote just by saying caste. It's slowly changing, but it has to take a deeper roots in the future days, sir. In the coming days, we can see some positive changes.
If you talk about future, for example, we are having many parties, divergent parties, even national parties also, they do play with this kind of parochial this thing and caste-based this thing. But still, you feel that, don't you feel that some of the parties which is basically based on tariffs are 1 year, still they are actually propped by major parties, parochial as well as national parties. And nowadays, even some of the national parties, they try to hijack the maskers like Dr. So, being from Vrindachalam, being from Kadalur, so you feel that this quite a politics, it is almost on the waning or it is going to increase in the days to come?
So the situation is changing, sir. It's on the waning stage. For sure, we can have a very positive future with a given rise in education, sir. For sure.
You are the last child in the family?
No, sir. I'm the first.
You are the first child. What is your take on actually role of a girl child in the family?
Sir, I don't think such a difference between girl or boy, sir. It's all about an individual. And I said it's not about first or last. It's all about the attitude of the individual, sir. So.
Because you mentioned one word, you said that daughter. That means that
by mistake.
No, it is not mistaken. Like it's very much required. A girl child, educating a girl child, economically making a girl child stronger, it is having a direct bearing on India.
Yes, sir, it's
India has to progress.
No, one. With you said Vrindachalam, no? Are you aware of the connection between Naxalites and Vrindachalam?
So once they were there, I have heard about it, sir, but this has been completely uprooted by now, sir.
You heard about what did you hear?
Sir, the place I was staying, there was a bomb blast when I was a kid. When I came to know, they said they were.
Which year was that?
It may be around 94, sir.
Malathy,
Sir,
during 2004, there was a massive impact on Kadalur and Nagapattinam district, tsunami.
yes, sir.
Though there was a huge damage on those areas, coastal line, certain pockets was not damaged. What were the pockets?
Near the mangrove areas, sir, Pichavaram and Muthu.
What is the reason?
Because of the mangroves acted as a strong barrier against that waves, tsunami waves.
Okay.
So the damage was a little bit, in compared to other area, it was relatively low, sir.
So what is mangrove forest?
Mangrove forests are coastal, they are kind of forests which can be seen in the coastal areas. They are basically saline resistant trees, sir.
Okay. Why there is an extensive cultivation of cashews and jackfruit in your area? What is the reason?
Actually, sir, part of our carnivore is mostly.
It's not from other parts of Tamil Nadu. Only your region, Vrindachalam, Bandroti, these areas.
Bandroti, yes.
Why?
It's an important source of livelihood for the people who are living there, sir.
No.
Why this? Why cashew and
the type of soil that is there suits this cultivation, sir.
Okay.
Your father is a village administrative officer.
He was an officer, he's no.
So I'm sure you might have seen him working as a VAO.
Yes, sir.
So you are aspiring to be a bureaucrat. And probably you may be an IAS officer or IPS officer. Being an officer in the making, so you need to think about that what are the existing land record systems. You might have seen it there. And what are the things, shortcomings in that, how you one can improve upon. I mean, it is very important, land record is very important.
Land records are, when my dad was working, it was like very, it was in paper form. Now we need to be digitalized. So that there will be backups whenever there is a problem, when there is then you can have it from a strong backup.
It's transparent, it's accessible.
Yes, sir. We can
It
find
was a
people.
hereditary VO or
No, sir.
recruitment? 80 plus.
As you said, sir, it will be very helpful to access. I could remember those days. Many people used to come to meet my dad just to get this. This patta, chitta and all. If it is kept in open for no, they can see some other work as well. As a village administrative officer, not about only giving this. Patta, chitta and all. They can do some developmental works too. That reduce the burden of the village administrative officer too.
Yeah, you are telling scientific temper as one of the favorite fundamental duties. Recently there was an article in Hindu that our Prime Minister is failing in this scientific temper. Have you read it? There was a criticism that he is telling that there was a plastic surgery once upon a time.
Yes, sir.
Don't you agree with the writer if he says, because Prime Minister told that plastic surgery was there in ancient days also?
So there have been many criticism. I didn't read this exactly, sir.
So if there is if he has told that, don't you think it is against the scientific temper?
Plastic surgery, if it is there, then the term plastic itself wouldn't be possible by that time, sir. So I have to.
So if that is the case, don't you think our Prime Minister was wrong and he himself is not doing his fundamental duty?
Sometimes it happens, sir. Actually, I think his intention may not be that. Rather to say we have got a very good strong culture, nothing is new to us. In order to motivate people.
In Tamil Nadu, Dravidian parties, it always shuttles. And now only we find some light. Captain is coming, don't you agree with me? First time something new is coming.
Yes, sir, I do agree, sir.
So some new innovations may happen, don't you think so?
I do, sir. I do feel that way, sir. We have an alternative politics. Other than Dravidian, we have some new avenue. But still, I don't find
And
it.
you Tamilians always fight, wherever, maybe in Singapore, Sri Lanka, with Kerala. What is your take on this Kaveri? Recently also they are building a dam and you started fighting. Don't you think so?
So it's not about fighting, sir. We are telling, Tamilians tell their grievance, their needs. On Kaveri issue, they are going to construct a new dam at Megadattu to provide drinking water to the Bengaluru. There is nothing wrong, sir. Everyone has that problem. Even we do, Tamils too have that problem. This Kaveri issue has been a decade-old issue, sir. It has been there. Instead of fighting on that, we can go for some other solution, like interlinking of rivers. We can go for some other scientific research that promotes water-efficient method of farming and all. Rather than sticking to that, it is going to. Everyone has the need. Everyone has. The Karnataka refused to use. It's not because we should not use. They themselves are insufficient. So even that side, as our farmers are suffering, it's not our farmers, Tamilian farmers are suffering. That side also, they too are farmers, they are also suffering on the other side. Instead of doing this war, we can go for something new, which should bring benefit to both the farmers.
So you are from some Bharati college. One poem of Bharati which you like the most?
நல்லதோர் வீணை செய்தே அதன் அலங்கர புழுதியில் எறிவதுண்டோ சொல்லடி சில சக்தி. That verse I like very most.
Why do you like that?
It's a epitome of self-esteem, sir. When I say, I get my goosebumps, sir. He's my.
You give a
Sir. I am pitching back. Sir, it's second.
So you came in very nicely, and your overall performance has been good. You greeted everybody, you sat down, and you got a very pleasant countenance, maintenance. Your eye contact is also good. But when you are given difficult questions, because not when somebody will purposely interject, not to just to find out how you are reacting. You don't get flustered. You don't need to get flustered. Of course, you have managed very well. You drank water. You thought all those things will be done. There also they will give you time to think over, collect yourself. All those things are there. Then straight away you said jewelry. You got caught in that. So you should try to, when you say hobby, very you already given. You can't even revise it. Now on these areas where you are given something, go into that, deep into that, and find out what you're going to say. All those things will be very clear on that. And mentoring also is a very everybody will get attracted to this, because now everybody talks about mentoring. You take your civil service, you take your private sector, everybody talks about mentoring. Even a chairman and managing director of a private company, he says, I am retired, I become a mentor of the company. Nayada Murthy says, I am a mentor. So mentoring is a very important thing. You said very correctly that it is everybody requires mentoring. Isn't it? Every adult requires a mentoring. That's a very good thing. But how you will go about it? All those things you should be very careful. Of course, you said that you give freedom to children and find out. So this particular thing they will definitely ask, because there has been a research on the effect of bad apple. On the effect of bad apple, if you go Google, effect of good over bad, or effect of bad over good. So there has been a research because it is an important topic in mentoring.
Sure,
In
sir.
fact, what they found that the effect of bad is 5 times more than good, which means there should be 5 times more good in society to ensure that the good comes up and bad is diminished. So it's a very important thing. Mentoring is a very
Sure, sir,
important
sure,
thing.
sir.
Otherwise, you came out very well.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure you'll do well.
Thank you, sir.
Your attire, the way you came, everything is good. Initially, for 1 minute also, you were a little bit nervousness, stress. And afterwards, you gradually opened up. And sometimes deliberately, when sir or myself or all of you pose question, somehow you consciously avoided and you did very well. First of all, that plastic surgery, Prime Minister, and finally you uttered one word, which is very good actually. It's more like putting a nail in the head kind of thing. He is emphasizing on cultural strength. So there is no doubt about it. One can say that there will be some politics to it and also cultural strength. You mentioned in a very nice way that it probably...
Yeah, you say it has to be viewed contextually.
Okay, sir.
That's what you did.
Thank you,
You
sir.
did it very well.
Very well. You said that it's easy harping on cultural strength rather than superstition. It's not actually promoting anything against the scientific temper. That is what it is. That is one thing. Second is about the Kaveri question. You said about very nicely that we should look for other person's hormones. But inadvertently, twice you mentioned we are also suffering.
Yes, sir.
That you are not saying bureaucrat means you are no longer Tamilian. You are no longer from Tamil Nadu. You should always say that Tamil Nadu, you should always be neutral to others. Tomorrow it will happen. It will happen. I may be a Tamilian and there will be a Tamilian person, there is another person. But I will never say that our state. You are always neutral. Always never say we are also suffering.
Sure, sir.
It happens with every individual, but be conscious.
Sure, sir.
Otherwise, you have done a brilliant job. Main thing is we should be very frank, truthful, and innocent. All are mixed naturally.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, whatever I told that. Everything. Just that Vijaykanth you should not tell. I was rather trying because earlier you told Vijaykanth, just I wanted to check whether you belong to DMDK. That is why I was telling whether it is good. You told, yes, it is good that if all parties something, but don't tell Vijaykanth coming is good.
Sure, sir. I'll
Captain is the
everybody-
future.
No, okay, sir.
Rather, I was trying to get out of that. I wanted to check whether you belong to DMDK. That was my intention.
So people deliberately put a question. They put a hope saying that basically you should be above any region, politics, party. You should say it's alternate politics, it's always good.
And whenever you
So I
say
did that
DMK,
point in other. I'm not supporting in captain, sir. Actually, we have something as an alternative, sir.
Don't use the say captain.
and immediately also you should not say Dravidian parties. You should say 2 things what Amma did, 2 things what I did also, and 1 negative of each. So that I feel ambulance and ambulance and insurance, total kulandai and amma kanti both goods people are, and so that you are above all these, you will be a neutral.
Sure, sir.
As a,
I'll work on it, sir.
கொஞ்சம் பதட்டப்படுறீங்க உங்களுடைய பதில் சொல்லும்போது you can take your own time.
Looking for words, sir.
No.
Take your time.
You take your time. நீங்கள் வேகமாக பேசுனால உங்களோட கிளாரிட்டி இல்லை, ஆன்சரில் கிளாரிட்டி இல்லை. அது சில சமயம் எங்களுக்கு புரியாமல் போகும்.
When you play video, you will be asking them to see the video.
yes, we'll give
One
them.
thing, you can see the video, you can mark it. Whenever you say at least for more than 20 times,
அது பண்ணிருக்கீங்க. ஐ மீன்ங்கிற வார்த்தையை வந்து ஒரு 100 வாட்டி
what I
சொல்லுவீங்க.
will say that.
Okay, sir.
That no, it is okay. First it happens with see every one of us has some kind of communication deficiency, but sometimes repeatedly it doesn't mean it looks a little bit odd.
Thank you, sir. Actually, I have never noticed this.
You can see the video. Probably I was marking it 21 times you did actually.
அது கட்சிக்குள்ள
அது கவிதை கூட சார் பாரதியார் நல்லதொரு வினைக்கு வேற ஏதாவது
No, it is you did excellent. In fact, it is actually. And you said that whenever you did, actually I feel so much this thing. No?
Goosebumps.
In fact, it is really
It's a natural.
this thing, and you as a see this is what required. Any person interview board will see that when someone comes, Malathy, Shakti, and that self pride, the self esteem is what super. It's icing over cake.
Thank you, sir.
கொஞ்சம் கையெல்லாம் இப்படி ஆட்டுறீங்கல்ல, அதெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணுவீங்க.
Okay, sir.
கட்சிக்குள்ள கீழே வச்சிருங்க.
Okay, sir.
ரொம்ப காமா இருங்க. ரொம்ப நீங்க பேசுறது பார்த்தா ஏதோ வேற ஏதோ ட்ரெயின் பிடிக்கிற வேகமா கிளம்புற மாதிரி.
Sir, நான் இயல்பாகவே ஃபாஸ்ட்டாக பேசுவேன் சார்.
சீக்கிரமா எங்களை விடுங்க
இல்ல இல்ல அவங்க கோட்டை படிக்க போறாங்க. கோட்டை தான் படிக்கணும்.
That is slow person. That is slow person. You are 100% you are doing whatever you are doing is right. Few areas. இந்த மாதிரி
Sure, sir.
சொல்றது கையில் ஆட்டாதீங்க கையை ஆட்டுங்க பட் ரொம்ப ஆட்டாதீங்க.
Body language.
It's really good. God has given you all the gift naturally. Some people they don't have, they artificially have to come. You are having all the gifts.
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Thank you so much, sir.
அதர்ஸ்
Read lot about, I know do your research on, I'm sure you must be having at least 10-20 days. Google பண்ணி mentoring க்கு the jewelry making க்கு thorough படிங்க.
Sure.
And principles of adult learning, principles of child learning, what is the difference? You are going to have at least 5-10 minutes question on this. You take it from me.
Thank you,
Mentoring
sir.
is a very huge topic.
This topic, see, once I see that yesterday I see this thing, immediately I am going to dwell on this thing. There are 2 seconds. Okay? Good. God bless.
Thank you, sir.
இன்னொருத்தர் வேணாம் ஒன்றாக ஆக்சுவலாக நான் இதாக தான் வச்சுருந்தேன். ஆல்ரெடி ஐ ஹவ் given him one board chance சார். இப்போ இவங்களுக்குலாம் board chance இல்லை சார். So again I will give him next week.
Oh, okay.
This boy is son of our police officer.
Yeah.
Arun Raj. His father is probably working in UNC DA. He is director of environment. Samudra Raja. Samudra Pandya.
DG Vigilance சார்.
Quite brilliant. He is 22 years old. 21 years. Samudra Pandya.
Samudra Pandya. Oh, avara.
He is from IIT Kanpur.
Oh. Young age, sir. 22, 26.
Oh, IIT Kanpur there. Samudra Pandya is not all that.
Sir. Son is exceptionally brilliant.
Like, he is a good officer, honest fellow. Not very retired and not that.
Sir.
அதில் படிச்சிருக்கேன் பவன்
Bhavan se our DAV, sir. Then after this one, DAV Gopala.
இப்போ ஐஐடி படிச்சுட்டு ஏன் நல்லா படிச்சு பண்ணலாம். இது கெமிக்கல் இன்ஜினியர். பப்ளிஷன் ஆர்டிக்கல்
Sir, out of these 4 candidates, sir, whom do you rate the top most, sir? Rahul. Rahul Vijay.
Rahul Jain.
And sir, second,
Bihar sir, he will definitely impress. He will impress because he is from Bihar. Generally people want to see if it is a Muslim candidate from the backward region, northeast. The interview board will boost him. It's just difficult. This girl also, of course, it all depends, This girl
Shouldn't get caught in that and the
You could in the real.
But sir, this girl is very innocent, sir.
Quality
Innocent
is
people,
not-
they may get caught also, but it will be advantage also. If they are truthful.
No, supposing if she is caught with some candidates who are from convent background.
Sir.
Okay, and they have very good English and good diction and accent and all that, and she is in the one of the, she